Some delicious Ethiopian food I had from an Ethiopian restaurant, and it was so nice. But I swear the meat, it was also so spicy. What you just saw was me and Footscray eating African food. And like, I honestly had no idea, like, Footscray, there would be a lot of African restaurants in Footscray. I might just stop at another African restaurant. It really is delicious. Oh my god, you can even smell the spices. That's so cool. And the guy that was working there was super nice, because yeah, obviously he got a takeaway container for me, and he's so nice. He was like, you can even take this home and put it in the microwave, which I would obviously finish it off and I would put it in the microwave, but it's just nice that he gives me like all these advice, and like he was even putting it in the container for me and put it in this plastic bag, which he even tied it around for me. You know, it's that generosity, that courtesy that the Ethiopians they have. Alright, you know what? I take back what I said about Tarneed. It's Footscray that is definitely the most culturally diverse town here in Victoria. African flags, like from all the African countries that were in that one street, like it's insane. Now this is what Australia is actually like. It's crazy here. Welcome to Footscray. Hard to believe this is actually in Australia. There is also a lot of Chinese $2 shops or gift shops, and they're amazing. Like there's so much you can find in there. It's unbelievable. They have so many toys and stationaries and furniture and dishes and batteries and tools, and like everything you can think of is there. I do love the roulette table. Like there's literally a life-size roulette game which you can get for only $100. Some of the Buddha statues are like over $300. I'm in another Chinese $2 shop. So much plastic. I feel like I'm suffocating in all this plastic. And then after I was in Footscray, I went straight to Ravenhall, which is another suburb in Melbourne, and oh my god, you should see what Ravenhall is like. It looks like an actual castle. Like, it's massive. I have no idea what it is, but it looks amazing. It doesn't even look like you're in Australia. I don't even know what they're on about, saying it's dangerous and all. Like, they always say Africa's dangerous, so stupid. So we'll just super buy stuff. Like, wandering out at Melbourne at night is no different to wandering out in Africa at night. Or just fucking roll some cunt. Got his tens on my feet, I'm brah. When I'm racking bum bags, I don't give. Yep, this is it. Welcome to Belmont Village. Yes, so this is where the stabbing attack happened yesterday, I believe. Which is why everything's back to normal. There were a lot of police cars yesterday, as it shows in the photo. Yeah, see, it's all in the news. Yeah, so it says 17-year-old sustained non-life-threatening injuries during a stabbing attack. Oh, and by the way, like, the whole car park in Belmont Village is super dodgy. Like, you would see homeless people just sitting down and they just, like, stare at you as you walk by. And this shirt that I got was from Kmart, the one that was outside of the car park where the stabbing happened. But don't worry, according to the government travel advisory websites in Western countries, it's still such a safe country. That stabbing was probably just nothing. Look at this, made in China. Made in China. God bless China. I would actually love to go to Ethiopia someday, especially Addis Ababa. The city is unbelievable. Now, I'm still waiting for a response from the Congolese organizations that I'm just trying to get that letter of invitation. I just really want to visit Kinshasa. Like, there are so many African countries, like even Central African countries that I would love to go to, but it's really difficult as an Australian to go there. As an Australian, the African countries that I would really love to travel, and
it is possible for me to go there without having to go to an embassy and going through all that hassle and all that, the countries would definitely be, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Only if it wasn't for that letter of invitation, because you can apply for an e-visa, but there are still more travel requirements. But another country that I would love to go to, which obviously I don't think you would need a letter of invitation, is Burkina Faso, because Burkina Faso has e-visas as well. Ethiopia I'm pretty sure has e-visas. Burkina Faso and Mozambique, they even have visas on arrival for Australians, which is good. And Ethiopia also offers visa on arrivals as well for Australians. And by the way, I don't know why everyone seems so shocked about, like all the crime that's happening in Melbourne and Geelong, when really this is not something unusual. In fact, it happens all the time. You know what? If you actually Google, like if you search like crime in Geelong or crime in Melbourne, crime in Sydney, or even look up Alice Springs, like you can clearly tell that they're so dangerous. And in fact, when you compare the crime rates that go on in some places in Australia and compare that to like the crime rates in like some African places, like in Africa, like really you'd be surprised that Australia is actually far more dangerous. You would literally look up the crime index for Geelong and it would come up as 61, and as for Frankston it will come up as 65. And for Geelong and Frankston, both the safety of walking alone at night is low. Whereas for Tunis, because I recently went to Tunis, the crime index is only 48, and the safety of walking alone during nighttime is also moderate, which is exactly why nothing happened to me when I went out wandering in Tunis at 3 a.m. Everyone was telling me to not go to Tunisia, and like if I was going to go to Tunisia, do not go wandering out in Tunis at nighttime, late at night, 3 a.m, which obviously I didn't listen to them, and for good reason too. Like, yes, there are bad things that happen in Africa, but like same goes for Western countries, and just to say that Africa is such a dangerous place is very hypocritical. Like Tunisia is not even listed as a safe country. And its rating for Eritrea on the US government travel website and the Australian government travel advice website is reconsider your need to travel. And why? Because it says reconsider your need to travel to Eritrea due to the risk of violent crime and potential conflict with the neighboring countries. Now, the potential conflict with the neighboring countries makes sense, which is why along the borders is listed as do not travel. But why the rest of Eritrea is reconsider your need to travel just because of the crime? Like, it's just so stupid. In the capital city, Asmara, you can see that the crime index is 23. Like, that is so incredibly low. The crime index in Asmara is pretty much half as compared to the crime index in Tunis. And most importantly, the safety of walking alone during night in Asmara is high. And even the crime index in Maputo, Mozambique, is even lower than Geelong and Melbourne. My whole life I've been living in Victoria, which has a very high crime rate. So if I can handle that, I can handle anything. And I'm certainly not going to listen to any of that crap on the government travel websites. I was having a conversation with this Tunisian shopkeeper of like this toy store, and he was telling me that his brother, currently, he's Tunisian, but he currently lives in Tripoli, Libya for work. And he says that even though he has a good job there, still like he can't even go outside most of the time. He just goes to work and goes home, and he'll just get groceries and does shopping, any other necessities, but then he quickly leaves and goes to his home in Libya. Like, that's when I realized, okay, yeah, Libya is definitely dangerous. I've always wanted to go there, but no, I'm not going to go there for safety reasons. Like, that's the only time that I would take that advice very seriously. Only if that advice is coming from someone more trustworthy and credible. And still, it's really good that I spent so much time in Footscray, in like the African part, of the town, and going to all sorts of Ethiopian restaurants and having their food and, You know, like it's really good experience, and it's good that, you know, it prepares me like for when I go there, because like the food, the Ethiopian food is usually very, very spicy, which I had no idea. And honestly, it would be really cool if I can hopefully one day try Ethiopian food, especially the same Ethiopian food I had here, but in Addis Ababa, and see if, you know, if it tastes any different or if it's the same, or yeah, that would be really cool. I just want to make sure that, like, because it's been about a month since I've last been in Africa, but I still really want to go back there. You know, I will never forget about Africa. Like, Africa is literally all I think about. But the good thing is, like, I'm still looking up to the other travelers, like the really popular travelers, even on YouTube, like especially Mary Jane, and even Paramvia Passenger. He's another one of my favorite travel YouTubers who recently went to Australia, and he even went to Avalon Airport, which is literally the same airport I go to whenever I have to catch a domestic flight. But it was strange because he only went to Avalon Airport just to go to Melbourne, when he could have just gone to Melbourne International Airport, because obviously it's much closer. Drew Binsky is also my favorite travel YouTuber who's been to like every single country in the world, which I'm actually very surprised. His style of recording, like, it's such like incredibly good quality, which is what I don't really like about his channel though. Like, it's only because it just makes his, like, you know, travel vlogging look a little bit unrealistic. He would have to find, like, you know, people who want to be recorded, and like he shows all the good parts, but you know, it's just better if he actually just records himself wandering around, you know, have a raw travel experience. Another one of my favorite travel YouTubers is Coco Girl. Coco Girl is really, really good. She's super obsessed with Africa. Since traveling, I started, you know, getting into like journaling and stuff like that, because this journal, this was from when I went to Singapore, which is really, really cool. And then this is the one that I'm gonna use for when I went to Tunisia and Istanbul. Like, while you're traveling, like, there's just so much stuff going on. Like, you can't recall every single thing that happens, like, during your experience. In fact, the only reason that I can remember, like, most of what happened during the trip was because I recorded, you know, like, my entire travel experience on my phone. But anyways, yeah, I've said too much, so until then, yeah, I'm out.